Hi, I'm Spiky. Welcome to my clinic. Now, who are you and what do you do for a living?
My name is Barbara. What I do for a living is I'm a youth worker, which is a very weird professional choice in Poland, as there is no such profession and there is no such education path to do. So, what do I do is do youth work in NGOs. So that's the two component of let's say profession that I do. And it's a non-governmental organization, Europe for Youth, based in Krakow, in Poland, that is organizing, that is working with young people, not supporting young people in many different ways. First of all, in providing information about the youth possibilities, European possibilities for young people, knowing, raising awareness of possibilities that they can have in European Union, for example, volunteering, youth exchanges, and so on and so forth. Besides that, we're also in Europe for Youth developing non pro, no, tools for non-formal education, like games, scenarios for different activities, LARPing, different kind of workshops, and like we try to develop it, professionalize it, and also professionalize the field of youth work by itself. Besides that, we are also working with youth centers. So we're running several youth centers in Krakow and in Rabka-Zdrój in Nesser, Poland, where we open spaces for young people. So where young people can come, spend their time, develop their activities, participate in different workshops, and simply have a third place. No, that's a concept that is also new to Poland. So we're trying to develop that. And the last thing that I do, and that's actually something that I do the most, is developing youth policies together with municipalities and with different entities on a different level of administration, and yeah, trying to provide outcomes of youth work that we do with young people, to translate it into a policy development on the different levels. So working in NGO, doing a youth work is not one thing to do, it's a lot, and it's quite peculiar. No, it's independent, so like we're running NGO, meaning that we can do whatever we like within the field that we choose to do. And that's what we chose to do in Europe for Youth.
What makes you a professional dreamer and what do you like about it?
Hmm. What makes me a professional dreamer in that job is connecting vision with the implementation of it. So I dream about the world that would like to develop, and turn it into concrete projects with the young people that are contributing to implementation of this vision. So being a youth worker means to be professional dreamer, to be this connector that turns visions into reality. And what I like about it is exactly this. Um, um, Being someone that is free in selection of activities and can bring it to life. Well, this being having a power of God.
What challenges have you faced as a youth worker?
I like challenges a lot, and most of the challenges that are not those that I like are resulting from the system in which NGOs in Poland are functioning, which is basically instability of job conditions. No, this is the work that is project based. So at some point, when some applications are not successful or things happen because this is not completely predictable, suddenly there's no much perspective in terms of financial liquidity. So that's one of the biggest challenges in youth work, but it's more connected to the form in which youth work is being done by Europe for Youth and me, which is, well, NGO and project based. What I also find a challenge recently is also resulting from the fact that youth work is not recognized, meaning that you don't, there's no professional path, or there's no educational path that youth workers are going through. So, in order to collect a team, you need to get people that are that have certain sequence of skills, but mostly they learn to do youth work by doing youth work. So managing that is quite challenging. No? We cannot expect from people entering the field, things that we can expect from ourselves. So managing such diverse teams is difficult and quite challenging. No, plus when this instability of job conditions result in team fluctuations. No, so people are leaving, moving on with their lives because in NGO it's quite hard to move on with your life. Then all the skills that have been developed in this particular job, in this particular organization, with these concrete things that we do that not many people are doing, is taken away. And to get it back, it's not that easy to invest in. I don't know. You don't find the same person ever, and to develop the same set of skills, you either need completely different path, or a large dose of mentoring, coaching new people, and finding a proper people. It's also very challenging. So I sum it down to the conditions in which NGOs are kind of operating in Poland, and it's less connected with youth work itself. Challenges connected to youth work itself, like I don't know. Those young people that are right now, I find it charming.
What does burnout mean for you? Give some examples.
Mm. Luckily, I've experienced that, so I have something to tell about it. For me, it was missing motivation to move on with the next day's activities. So this sense of lack of sense, that this feeling that anything I do doesn't turn into anything, or doesn't bring the impact that I would like to, because of the things that I cannot control. And this happened after a quite intensive project with lots of young people, and apparently in the team we had different investment, a different level of investment in it. So I had an impression that this is only me who cared about it, and I had an impression that I was exposed to fail in it, and I felt alone in it. So this was pretty painful experience where I simply blocked myself from moving on. No, like I wouldn't want to wake up at some point, that sense of lost sense and an overwhelming exhaustion. No? So I was so tired from absolutely everything, and this lasted for some time. So coming back from it, it wasn't that easy. I had to really break that all that at some point, and leave it for a moment.
If burnout was a dragon, how would you describe it?
If burnout is a dragon, it's a huge dragon, very fat, very ugly, very hunched, with grumpy face, dissatisfied with everything, that is sitting on the egg, and instead of nurturing it, bringing the life inside to the world, it's like crushing it little by little and sludging with fiery sludge instead of warmness and all that. No, so it's a monster. It's a monster that kills.
Okay. Oops. Sorry. How did burnout impact your life and how did you deal with it?
What impact did it have in my life is impact on health. At some point, I had experienced sleep deprivation, which is in my case is inability to wake up. So I was sleeping for 16 hours and I didn't have strength to wake up. And how did I deal with it is having a break, moving it to like from the brain to the body. So I was doing a lot of physical activities, being outside, being in nature, reconnecting with family, friends, and yeah, I simply waited it out. It's at some point it did not had so much negativity, a negative impact on me, and I could take it up again, no, because this is still something very precious, something very valuable, and yeah, I simply needed time to rest, I think. And what I do differently is simply remembering about it, like doing something different, having some sort of routine, and controlling the time where I'm consumed by it, instead of like doing proper amount and then moving on with to other activities.
What did you learn from your experience?
I think what I've learned is taking care of myself better and remembering about the fact that this is also my needs that have to be um, fulfilled with the job that I'm doing. So to simply remember that this is also working for me, that this is something that I wanted to do, and that this is also the vision that I want to see in the world, and I'm actually having an impact on it. No? So that job brings the satisfaction also for me, that I'm not a mean for everything else and a vessel for everything else, but it is also for me.
Now, if you could send a message to a younger self, what would you say to help them prevent burnout?
I wouldn't prevent it. I would say, burn, bitch. And simply have this experience, learn from it, and move on. Um, I think this was quite important experience that I had, and I not like preventing it. It wouldn't bring this level of attention that I have right now. So I'm really glad that this happened. I'm not glad with all the circumstances that it happened with. It might be dealt better with, perhaps, but I'm really glad that it happened and I have something from it. And that I developed something after that.